you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip? Yo.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm a member of Team Omnipotent. We want to share our story about who we are, where we've been, and where we see ourselves in the future. How do you get 6 strangers to form an effective team? You start at the beginning. In the beginning, we focused much of our effort on developing psychological safety. We accomplish this through both work and play. Off campus, we developed psychological safety through sushi dinners, where one of our members tried sushi for the very first time, pizza at bar, and even some karaoke. When we worked, we learned about each other more deeply through active listening exercises, Aaron's 36 questions, and sharing our first impressions of each other. We've really enjoyed learning about each other. Now, we would like to share with you some of the things we've learned about each other.
Manan is here to create sustainable energy solutions for future generations.
We thought that Manan would be a teacher as an alternate career, but we were wrong.
We guessed right that Manan likes to spend a Saturday afternoons reading.
Manan is most grateful to be part of the ITER project, the world's largest fusion reactor.
Manan loves to read books on spirituality.
Rahul came to Yale to advance his career in asset management line of business.
We thought he would be a spiritual leader, but it turns out he's an atheist.
Raul listens to Taylor Swift. He also loves country music and Lady Gaga.
Rahul is passionate about helping his community through local outreach projects.
Rahul is a licensed bartender.
Emma is here to advance her career as a leader in healthcare industry.
None of us guessed that Emma drove a Jeep Grand Cherokee to survive the harsh Boston winters.
Emma's favorite musicians include Eminem, Pitbull, and Taylor Swift.
In Emma's life, she's most grateful for her close friends and the opportunities that have been provided for her.
Emma can rap. James is here to champion sustainable practices in the insurance industry.
We thought James likes country music. He hates country music.
We guessed it right. James drives a Jeep Wrangler and it's pretty old.
Given to anyone in the world, James would like to dine with Yvonne Chouinard, founder of Patagonia.
While in the Navy, James spent a week sailing through a typhoon off the coast of India.
Mike came to SOM to disrupt healthcare via patient-driven participation.
We thought Mike drove a truck, but apparently it's hard to fit a car seat in one.
Mike has the traits of an entrepreneur, and he wants to make that his primary career.
Mike has a fierce passion for helping those who have been impacted by disease.
Mike founded a Blue Festival in Kansas in which 5,000 people attended.
Dave would like to work for an endowment or foundation one day.
Turns out, Dave does not listen to fish.
Dave would be a teacher if he switched careers.
Dave feels most grateful for his 2 young and happy children.
Dave has lived in Brazil, Belize, Barbados, and Saudi Arabia twice.
Hi, I'm Mike from Team Omnipotent. As you can see, our team has formed strong bonds and invested the necessary time to begin to deeply understand each other in a meaningful way. What's remarkable is that we've only known each other for 2 weeks. Yet by being thrown right into challenging and time-intensive projects, we needed to adapt quickly in order to survive and thrive. Together, we have rapidly accelerated our connection and understanding that often takes years to develop. Paula Caproni, in creating high-performance teams, describes the 5 predictable stages of team development as forming, storming, norming, performing, and eventually adjoining. While we've shown signs of progressing into further stages of development, we currently find ourselves in the forming stage, which is defined by setting clear goals and purpose, creating norms that will not only help our projects, but more importantly help our relationships, and building trust and interdependence amongst our team. We look forward to continuing to develop as a team, growing and learning from one another, and optimizing our performance and synergy. A major key to our success is establishing norms and principles that will help guide us, especially as we reacclimate into our lives outside of the Yale campus. It's now my honor to have my teammate, Raul, tell you a little bit more.
Hi, I'm Rahul. One of the earliest exercises we completed as a team was to build out our team contract. Although we'd only met a couple of days ago, our group was still in the formative stages. It became evident to us very, very quickly that both the individual factors like our skills, flexibility, perspective taking, and empathy, as well as our traits as a group with a focus on efficiency and mutual respect, would help us develop a highly effective team. As we constructed our ground rules, we honed in on those key processes, tasks, and norms that would enable us to be effective as possible, even leaving room for continuous improvement. As we move forward though, we plan to augment our contract with additional specifics around rotating roles and processes to help us overcome those adverse environmental challenges that we're sure to encounter. I'd like to now hand it over to my teammate Manan, who will take us through some specific instances of successes over the past 2 weeks.
Not a problem, my squad can fix. Come on, 'cause we can do it in the mix.
Thanks, Rahul. Hey, this is Manan. So as Rahul mentioned, creating ground rules or team contracts really helped us to create safe to say environment within team, which is very important for psychological safety within team. These team contracts really pushed us to excel in our many team activities at Yale. For example, we use rotating roles rule in our hurricane exercise, and as a team we picked James as a subject matter expert whose background is Navy, and Mike as a facilitator to make sure that we get to the task on time. This collaboration and behavior allowed us to achieve higher score collectively as a team as compared to individual, which is very important and which shows the real teamwork. And it's not just about team contracts, but apart from that, as a team, we know that to create a good teamwork requires a lot of trust within team, and to achieve that, we deliberately spend time outside academic work and trying to get more personal connection with each other and make sure that lasts forever. In next session you will hear from Emma about some specific data regarding hurricane exercise, and that will be helpful for you guys to understand.
Hello, I'm Emma from Team Omnipotent. As Manan mentioned, we really came together as a team and excelled during the hurricane survival exercise. In terms of statistics, we achieved a synergy score of 14, meaning that the team as a whole scored 14 points better than the average individual team member. In addition to this impressive synergy score, we also had a team score that was 6 points better than the best individual score. We achieved these impressive results by making sure everyone's voice was heard, even after recognizing and appointing a subject matter expert among us. James's skills from his experience in the Navy provided a clear advantage. However, we could not have achieved the score we did without actively soliciting input from every member of the team, including some team members who provided expertise on how to treat the person with diabetes. Mike served as coordinator to keep us all on track, and during the ranking exercise, we made sure there was full consensus amongst the full team for every item we selected. After adjusting the talking times to account for the fact that James was identified as the leader of the exercise, we all had talking times within 1.5 standard deviations of the average talking time. While we had success with the hurricane exercise, we have identified some areas that can help us continue to grow as a team. I will now turn it over to James, reporting from the Whitney Room at the Omni Hotel, who will provide some perspectives on Team Omnipotent's key areas for improvement.
But our team still has a lot of room for improvement. One of our biggest challenges happened right here in the Whitney Room. We were trying to complete an economics assignment that took us over 4 hours to assemble the answer. The worst part was that we had already all done the assignment individually. It just took us that long to get everything down on paper. One of the biggest challenges was that we didn't effectively control our environmental factors. The room we used had spotty internet reception, the plugs were a little too far away from the table that we were using, and there was no whiteboard. But the biggest thing was that we hadn't committed to our ground rules. We hadn't assigned a facilitator, a timekeeper, or set specific objectives about what we wanted to achieve and when. The team is confident that if we set specific time objectives, control our environmental factors, and ensure to assign the proper roles of facilitator and timekeeper going forward before we start a project, that Team Omnipotent will continue to develop and excel throughout the year.
Based on my expertise in probability theory, I feel that the probability that Team Omnipotent is extremely successful is very, very high.
Team Omnipotent will support one another in our individual and collective goals to become leaders in business and society.
Ends like the dime.
Back to reality.